Hi, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt, and this is Son.
Hi.
And this is our Fyter Fest Day 1 reactions. Didn't do a video last week. To be fair, I had a lot of commitments on with return to work in the UK. The coronavirus situation is a little bit more managed now, so there's a lot more people going back to work. I was one of them, so I had to go back to work, so I was a little bit tired. And to be fair, there wasn't much to report on with AEWs Dynamite last week. They put in a solid show, but there wasn't too much to really say. In AEW news, there's been a couple of developments. One is that Renee Young, who obviously is married to Jon Moxley, tested positive for the virus, so he's had to self-isolate at home. And we'll get into that with the Fyter Fest. There's a little bit about Jon Moxley as well. And also, Sammy Guevara got suspended because of comments that he made several years ago about Sasha Banks. We at Wrestling Fun don't condone his actions at all, but we hope that he will be back soon and learn from his mistakes. Fyter Fest, 1st of the 7th, 2020. Started off with MJF and Wardlow coming out in a tag team match against Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. And we also had Jericho on commentary, and that comes into play a little bit as well. I put F10 finisher, Kai. They actually call Wardlow's finisher the F10, and it strangely looks like a F5 where Wardlow got a I think it was like Luchasaurus or Jungle Boy on his shoulders, and they said, is he now going for the F10? So obviously that's a little bit of a rib to the F5 for Lesnar. I think that's quite an interesting little point. The ending of this match really was a little bit of a sort of miscommunication type thing between Wardlow and MJF. MJF, as always, tried to use the ring, didn't he, Kai? He tried to hit Luchasaurus, I think it was, with the ring, while Wardlow was holding him from behind. He then went to strike him. Luchasaurus ducked. He stopped because he thought, I'm going to hit Wardlow here. Only for then, I think it was Luchasaurus to kick MJF in the back, and he went and punched Wardlow in the face. I think that was what happened, wasn't it? Was that near to what happened? It was close to what happened, wasn't it? And then, in turn, Luchasaurus Jungle Boy got the win. Next, Shida versus Penelope Ford. Kip Sabian got ejected from the ring side really early. Penelope Ford then went and got the title belt, distracted Aubrey Edwards. Kip Sabian come out with a kendo stick. Shida fought him off, only then to get the win on Penelope Ford. So not much, to be honest, happened in that match. Next we had TNT Championship match. Jake Hager versus Cody. Jake Hager had his wife, who seems to be like this character now. She's sort of got a personality now, which is a bit strange. She got a couple of interference spots in this as well. And you had Double A, Arn Anderson with Cody as always. There was a moment where Hager actually attacked Double A. I think, in this type of matches, people at ringside, they're a bit of a distraction from what's happening in the match. So I can understand it sort of adds a layer to it, but I can't really understand why in this sort of Fyter Fest, which is supposed to be like a pay-per-view type thing, they have these people at ringside. But anyway, so we had Hager's wife sort of getting involved in it, only for Dustin Rhodes to come down to the ringside to sort of make the save, and in the end it was kind of like a roll-up submission type thing that they've done in WWE with a double, like the shoulders down and a submit at the same time. Cody got the win. Hager thought he'd won because he got the submission, and he sort of celebrated, only to be told, no, you haven't won. So, and then he attacked the ref. So there'll be probably some comeback from that, probably a fine or something like they normally do. Next, Orange Cassidy come out to the commentary desk with a chair. Didn't do any commentary. He was just there basically to wind up Jericho, because we had Santana and Ortiz versus the Private Party with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy sort of aligned himself with the Private Party. Not much to this, to be honest. This was a really cool match. High flying as we thought. I liked Santana and Ortiz. I think they're a really good tag team. Private Party ended up getting the win. Only for them, Private Party to sort of go and boast to Jericho at the commentary desk. Jericho gets upset, starts throwing water at them. He throws water at Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy then sort of gets up to leave, only for then Jericho to say, I've had enough of this. He then goes to attack Orange Cassidy, only to be then restrained, and they're sort of separated. Next we had Taz and Cage come out because we got told that Jon Moxley will not be defending his title next week at Fight Fest Day 2 because of this sort of coronavirus situation with Renee Young and him isolating. Taz did it. I thought it was a really good promo. He came out and said that basically Moxley's chicken beep and that he will then face Cage in 2 weeks at Fight for the Fallen, which is on the 15th of July. So they will have that match, but it's just a little bit later. Let's say Taz put in a really good promo here. And he did say about there was a little bit of a sort of knock on to WWE's testing, because obviously in WWE there's a big coronavirus problem with loads of people testing positive because of their testing wasn't that great. It was just a temperature check, whereas AEW are doing blood test swab type things. There was a little bit of a knock from Taz to WWE there. He says we don't run a rubbish show with a testing, we are tested sort of thing. So there's a little bit of a rub to WWE. And then the main event, Best Friends versus Page and Omega. Again, a really good match, but Kenny Omega and Adam Page got the win. After the match, FTR, who were watching at the commentary desk drinking beers and that, go down to the ringside, offer Adam Page and Omega a beer, only for then Omega to do what?
He poured it out.
Yeah, he pours it out, basically sort of saying, I don't want your handouts, we're not friends. Then there's a little bit of square up between FTR and Omega, only for the Young Bucks to come down and sort of diffuse the situation, and that was how they went on. So, to be fair, I didn't find there was too much in Fight Fest Day 1. What did you think? You think there wasn't much to happen, was there? There's a few matches, but not really much. I think it's next week more so than anything else. There's a few more matches next week. Looking forward to that Jericho Orange Cassidy match. I think it's going to be a really interesting match. How Jericho plays that as well, because obviously Orange Cassidy has that bit of comedy element, and he doesn't really he's somebody who doesn't really try. So that's going to be a very, very interesting match. I'm really looking forward to that one. So, let's say consistent as well. It did feel a bit like a Dynamite, to be fair. I'm saying there wasn't the big pay-per-view feeling, I didn't find. But that being said, again, Dynamite's consistent. This was consistent. So, let's say a very quick video, quick sort of introduction to part 1 of the reactions for Fighter Fest. And we'll say if you like the video, please like, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video, which will be AEW Fight Fest Day 2 reactions, which will be next week. So I'll say goodbye, and say goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.